It's still out there. So keep that in mind and watch out for delays there. That's a look at traffic. Back to you.
Hey, Tom, in the control room. We're going to Ted Koppman, right? Yeah, okay. 7:32. Senator, good to have you here.
Good to see you, Mike.
Good to see you. You know Carrie?
Yeah, good to meet you.
So glad to have you here this morning.
It's great to be here.
Your last time here is maybe a sitting senator.
It will be my last time as sitting senator.
Oh, my goodness.
It's been great, hasn't it?
It has been
I really
good.
have enjoyed it. It's
But
been a
you
lot of
have
fun.
to come back. I
Yeah,
mean,
absolutely.
Yes.
I come
so
back.
before we talk about the race in Delaware, maybe you don't even want to talk about it, before we have to talk about it, the day after the election, what are you going to do?
Well, you know, Harry Reid appointed me to this board that oversees the TARP. You know, it's the Congressional Oversight Panel. When they set up the TARP, that's the thing where we put all the money into the banks and all the rest to bail out the banks and the rest of those kinds of things. When they put that fund together, they put people to watch it. They put a special investigator, an independent investigator. They put a GAO, and then they put a congressional panel. And I was appointed to the congressional panel. It's 3 Democrats and 2 Republicans, and fortunately or unfortunately elected me to be the chair. It's the job that Elizabeth Warren had.
Yes.
The person so involved. So we had a meeting yesterday on executive compensation. So that's going to be pretty intense for the next 6 months.
Critical position.
Yeah. Well,
6 months?
6 months, yeah. It's winding down. The good news is that, you know, we originally talked about $700 billion for this. The Congressional Budget Office, which is bipartisan, says now they think it'll cost $66 billion, which is still a lot of money.
But less.
We're always concerned that the money's going to go to waste.
Exactly.
You know, it's going to be
that's what we're trying.
corrupted.
You got it. And we're watching to see that it doesn't. We oversight the Treasury Department.
Yeah.
We oversight all the different areas, AIG, the automobile. So it's pretty intense.
Let's talk about this race in Delaware.
Sure.
I mean, the whole
It's
country.
crazy.
It even gets worldwide attention.
Exactly.
When Christine and Chris were debating, we had international reporters here.
You want to see down in Delaware, it's like Iowa
crazy?
is in the presidential. Every political science professor, every reporter, anybody that's ever involved, you get Australia, Japan. It is absolutely incredible.
Why do you think?
Well,
Why?
I think that people are just fascinated with Christine O'Donnell
They
on some
are.
of the things that she says.
I think you're right. That's
No,
what it
really
comes
is.
down
And she
to.
looks so much like Sarah Palin.
That's another
that, you know, it just
thing.
it all kind of it's like a perfect storm.
It is.
And really, what happened, I think, was there was a move by the Tea Party movement and the people that support her, and they tried to do some things. And they beat Bob Bennett, who was a senator.
yeah.
His dad was a senator in Utah, very conservative gentleman. Then Lisa Murkowski got knocked out. And so they kind of came to Delaware and said, Mike Castle, who they never kind of agreed with, they always felt he was too moderate for them. And then when they knocked him out, it was a big deal.
And
it is a
Chris
big deal.
Coons vaults to the lead by
He's the
20
underdog,
points.
yeah.
But you know, most races around the country that have a 20-point margin, Senator, there wouldn't be national attention.
No, that's
it's about her.
That's a legitimate. By the way, it's a legitimate criticism. Some people have written, you know, here we have so many Senate races this year that are very close.
Nevada,
Wisconsin, I mean Washington. You can go down the list. Colorado, and yet they're covering this race, which, according to the polls, and again, Disraeli said there's 3 kinds of lies: lies, damn lies, and statistics. And the polls are kind of that. But it really looks like that race is pretty lopsided compared to 10 or 12 races which are within the Pennsylvania race, for instance.
Which
Pennsylvania
one?
race.
Well, right.
Pennsylvania race now is tightened up, and it's really close. And nobody in America knows there's a race going on in Pennsylvania, and everybody knows there's a race going on.
Well,
in
the
Delaware.
stuff that comes out of her mouth sometimes, I think, is what fascinates people. She's such a force with that.
Should she?
For good or bad.
Does she have the ability to be a good senator?
Well,
Let's say something happens.
That's a good. Well, you know what's going on. I got to put it in context, and that is, you know, because the economy being so bad and people being so upset for good reason. I mean, people are out of work, they're losing their homes. I mean, it's awful. And when you have that kind of situation, look what happened during the Great Depression. I mean, you know, it's real, and it's what we don't realize, and I mean, all of us, how bad it really is. This has been going on for 2 years now. People have been out of work for a year, year and a half. People in the mid-40s, kids getting ready to go to college, they don't know whether they're going to be paid for it. So when you have this kind of environment, if you go back and look at history, just strange things happen. We actually had, and this is what I bring to Christine O'Donnell, we actually had a letter to the editor in the local newspaper in Delaware where the writer said, what we got to get rid of are these experienced, qualified candidates.
I know.
Now, experienced, qualified candidates.
Yeah.
Now, experienced, I don't agree with it, but, you know, if you can argue kind of term limits.
Yeah.
Maybe experienced, you know, maybe we don't want somebody that's been down there for a long time.
Entrenched.
But qualified?
Right.
I know it.
And so when you say basically experienced and qualified, there are people in this country who are looking for non-experienced, non-qualified candidates.
That's true. And I noticed in the Michigan race for governor, that's the guy that runs Gateway Computers.
Yeah.
And he's a businessman. He's not a Washington insider at all. He's never been to Washington.
Right.
He's leading in that race because people
That's
are looking to
appealing.
business people
Yeah.
instead of
And
politicians.
by the way, I don't. Look. I spent 22 years in Washington. Some people say because of me and what I did and the way I behaved that I'm an argument for term limits, but I'm really not, because I was down there for 22 years. But I can understand people saying, well, we want somebody new, qualified people that experienced. I can understand that. I think it's kind of a trade-off.
I'm fiddling
But
with
qualified.
something.
But qualified?
I know qualified.
What does that
Well,
Qualified.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, no one's saying he's not qualified. And there are a number of candidates around the country where people basically are saying, I'm not qualified, elect me.
well,
Right.
I think she stumbled the other day, too, in a debate when she said, do you believe evolution is a myth?
Yeah.
And she said, and the commentator says, I want your opinion. Do you believe evolution is a myth? She says, it doesn't make any difference what I think. My opinion is irrelevant. Well, how can a candidate say that? So anyway.
Yeah. I got to ask you this,
Sure.
though. How come did you ever think about running for that?
By the way, I never once. It's really remarkable. People ask me that, and they just don't believe it. Several reasons. First thing is, I've been down there for a long time. I've been involved. I was Joe Biden's chief of staff.
Right.
And I know that if I decided I wanted to run, I would have spent 50-60% of the last 2 years running.
Yeah.
Raising money and do all the things that you have to do.
Instead of working for the people.
Instead of I said, I could either be a United States Senator for 2 years, or I could not be a United States Senator, and if I lost, I'd never be a United States Senator. But really, the main thing was to spend 2 years actually working on the issues that I really care about.
Sure.
Because you're involved with TARP. You brought up the Great Depression and FDR, and he got his first 2 years in office. The country didn't turn around as far as the economy at all. He says, you got to stick with me. I put some things in place. Hang with me. Yeah. And the country did. Is that the way we should be looking at this race?
No, I really do. I think, look, the economy has turned around. There's no doubt about it. When you look at the data, when we passed the Recovery Act, there's a lot of things about did the Recovery Act work, and you can argue about it in the past, but looking back on it, clearly the jobs stopped falling. We lost 730,000 jobs in February of last year. Now it's started back up again. So if you look at the curve, it goes just like that. If you look at manufacturing, it goes just like that. Dow Jones Industrial Average, which is a measure of the economy, bottomed out like in March.
Senator, we are impatient in this country.
I know, we want change.
And if you don't have a job, you're going,
by the way, that's the point I'm making. And we're not impatient. I think we're more than patient. But it's been 13 months. It's been 2 years. People should be upset about it. But the point of the matter is, on all the recessions, even one not as bad as this, it takes 10 months to a year after the economy comes back before the jobs start coming back. So what we need is the jobs, the jobs start coming back. And it's interesting, you had a little thing across your screen yesterday, and it had President Obama's approval rating at 44.7, and it said he was higher than Reagan, Bush, and Clinton at this time. So after 2 years, if you're a president of the United States after 2 years in this country, you're in tough shape.
Yeah.
Because hopefully you've been making tough decisions. You've been causing change. Everybody talks about change. My favorite thing about change is the Dilbert T-shirt says, change is great, you go first.
Yeah.
I mean, change is hard. Change is stressful. And we've gone through a lot of change.
People say they want change, but they really don't. People are, change is
set
hard.
in their ways.
By the way, they do want change. It's just getting through it.
But I'll tell you what, in the first 2 years of the Obama administration, there's been a ton of change. People say they haven't done anything.
My Lord.
He's pushed through so much legislation.
Exactly.
Legislation that they said that no other president could ever do and hasn't, like health care and all. But a lot of people said, I don't like his legislation.
The thing. That's the thing.
By the way, that's always the problem in terms of most of the things that have passed in this country that we haven't really liked from the get-go. It's after we change, and we're going to have to make changes that. But he's passed, according to some of the experts in Washington, this Congress passed more legislation than any Congress since FDR. Which is extraordinary.
And whoever gets elected on Tuesday, or coming up on that Tuesday, they're going to get credit for the economy turning around because they're in office. But maybe it started a while back. Also, we have some big-time trouble in Afghanistan, Pakistan today. And just real quickly here, in past elections, boy, a war would be at the top of the list, not the economy, but it's like fifth on the list of important things to you voters.
I know, and it's really, really, really important. I was telling you, some of the hearings now, people just don't show up anymore, especially to Iraq, and we get small turnout to Afghanistan. But look, the reason is people are so hurt. I mean, when you're losing your job, I mean, there's nothing, it's that old joke about you can't drain the swamp while you're up to your thighs in alligators. And the same way with this thing. I mean, if you don't have your job, your dad doesn't have a job, your mom doesn't have her job.
It's your prime focus.
It's been great.
Don't be a stranger.
Okay, buddy.
All right.
I won't.
Good
Hey,
to see
great
you.
to see you, Karen.
I know you've been following the story, too, about Lindsay Lohan.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very
No, I
closely.
stopped reading. When I get to Lindsay Lohan, I stop.
You stop reading? Oh, I got to start reading. Lindsay Lohan is due back in